Every decade has its signature quirks, the inside jokes of history that you just had to be there to get. The 80s were no exception, bursting with a character all its own that today's generation can only catch glimpses of in movies and throwback playlists. Beyond the era's hallmark synthpop and leg warmers, there were nuances that made living through the 80s a unique badge of honor. So, for those who remember the time of neon dreams and VCRs, and for the curious minds who wish they did, here are 7 totally awesome things from the 80s that kids today will never experience. Number 7. Pretend puffs with candy sticks. In the era of Just Say No, candy cigarettes were the exception to the rule, a sweet mimicry of adult habits that let kids dabble in the allure of taboo without the vice. These chalky sticks, unique in taste and absent from modern candy aisles, were a playground staple for pretending sophistication. While they've mostly vanished from the everyday storefronts, replaced by healthier options, the rare novelty shop might still stock them. A nostalgic nod to a less aware time. Number 6. Whispers on paper, the lost art of note passing. Back in the 80s, long before the buzz of instant messaging, passing notes in class was the original silent conversation. The stealthy fold, the covert handoff, the excitement of seeing your name scribbled on a piece of folded paper. It was an art form, a rite of passage, and a test of cunning all at once. There was a certain thrill in the risk and the possibility contained within those creased lines. A personal message, a group invite, or maybe a classroom crush confession. Now, with digital communication at our fingertips, the simple joy and anticipation of receiving a handwritten note in class have all but disappeared. Number 5. Casual sips of grown-up drinks. Back in the 80s, it wasn't out of the ordinary to taste a bit of your mom's sangria, or be offered a sip of beer by your dad or his buddies during a get-together. These were the laid-back moments of an 80s childhood, where the rules about alcohol were more relaxed when it came to curious kids at family parties. Number 4. Dreaming on waves. There was an era when waterbeds were the crest of cool, the bedroom equivalent of a luxury yacht. They've all but disappeared now, relegated to the annals of quirky 80s memorabilia. For those who missed the wave, a waterbed was exactly what it sounds like. A mattress brimming with water. It turns out riding the tide to dreamland was no cheap feat, and the upkeep was a shoreful, leading to their drift out of favor. Yet, for a time, 80s kids knew the unique sensation of a nocturnal sea voyage right in their own rooms. Number 3. Saturday morning cartoon ritual. In the 80s, Saturday mornings were hallowed ground for kids. This was the one day we'd leap out of bed at dawn, cereal bowl in hand, ready for a marathon of cartoon adventures. Perched in front of the TV, we'd dive into worlds of heroes and humor until noon. With classics like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Thundercats, it was a golden era of cartoons, a weekly ritual that's now a fondly remembered piece of our childhood tapestry. Number 2. Backseat adventures, a throwback to 80s car rides. In the 80s, the phrase "buckle up" had a more, let's say, casual interpretation, especially for the young ones. Station wagons roamed the roads like household pets, and children often found themselves in the tail end of these family chariots. Sans the now standard car seat. It was a time when the presence of guests promoted kids to the spacious rear cargo area, unrestrained and free to slide with every turn and stop. There we'd ride untethered and wide-eyed, trusting our parents' driving skills to keep our impromptu playpen on wheels safe. Number 1. Pedal to freedom. In the 80s, receiving your first bicycle was akin to being handed the keys to the kingdom. It was the ultimate passport to independence. Parents set you free on the simple condition of returning by dinner time. This two-wheeled liberator took you to friends' houses, the local gas station, open fields, libraries, and schoolyards. Your bike was your chariot, and the neighborhood was your realm. In stark contrast, the cautious tales of today have tightened the reins, and the once expansive boundaries of youthful exploration have drawn in closer to home. And there you have it. 7 slices of pure 80s awesomeness that have faded into the backdrop of yesteryears. So, what do you miss most about the 80s? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your stories.